the source and the reflection. The session begins with a mushahada vision where the disciple sees the name of Allah Jalla Jalaluh inscribed on a ship sailing on a sea of colorful waves. Then another vision occurs where he sees the illuminated name of Allah Jalla Jalaluh inverted, and the Shaykh, may Allah sanctify his secret, stamps it with his seal. This Shaykh, may Allah sanctify his secret, answers, "Indeed, when a stamp is placed on someone, the inscription always appears inverted on the stamp." It is essential to understand that the Shaykh, may Allah sanctify his secret, is the mirror of the disciple. When a disciple stands in front of this mirror, the Shaykh's right becomes his left, and the Shaykh's left becomes his right. This also applies in prayer, where the Imam takes his position in a single line. The disciple's left will naturally align with his right hand. In the spiritual journey, the traveler places himself behind the Shaykh, meaning he follows the path laid out by the Shaykh. In other words, the disciple can also be facing the Shaykh such that his heart is on the opposite side of that of the Shaykh. There is a hadith of the Prophet, peace be upon him, where he says, "My Lord appeared to me in the most beautiful image and said, 'O Mohamed,' I replied, 'At your call, my Lord, and at your service.' He asked, 'Do you know what the Divine Council, al-Mala'ul A'la, discusses?' I replied, 'I do not know.' He placed his hand on my chest, and I felt its coolness between my shoulders. He said, 'O Mohammed,' I replied, 'At your call, my Lord, and at your service.' He asked, 'Do you know what the Divine Council discusses?' I replied, 'About the degrees in the atonements. As for the degrees, it is to perform ablutions at unpleasant times, walk to the assemblies, and wait for the prayer after the prayer. As for the atonements, it is feeding the hungry, spreading peace, and praying at night while people sleep.' He told me, 'Whoever does this will live in goodness, and his sins will be erased like the day he was born. كَمَا وَلَدَتْهُ أُمُّهُ.' He told me, 'O Muhammad, say, O Allah, I ask you to give me the ability to do good deeds, to abandon bad actions, to love the needy, and when you want to test a group and I am among them, protect me from this trial.'" In the spiritual journey, the disciple must know when to follow the Shaykh, and when the Shaykh serves as a mirror to reflect on his actions and evaluate them. When the disciple spots a flaw in his environment, the Shaykh becomes the best mirror to guide him towards change. This is how he will come to the following understanding. All evil emanates from his own nafs, or ego, while every good action comes from his Shaykh. As mentioned earlier, what is to the right of the Shaykh corresponds to the left of the disciple. In the image, the Shaykh has a right and a left, but in reality, in the haqiqah or spiritual reality, he has only the right. This discerns that the wali is the source of all good action. During the journey, when the disciple is initiated into the reading of the name Allah Jalla Jalaluh, he will have the Shaykh as a mirror. This reading is done from left to right, starting with a mishkat or niche, which symbolizes the ha, before delving into the contemplation of the lamp, which symbolizes the lamp of passion, and then the crystal, which symbolizes the lamp of knowledge, and finally the bright star, which symbolizes the alif. It is not the Shaykh who is in opposition to the disciple, but rather the disciple who is inverted in relation to his Shaykh, because the disciple is the reflection and the Shaykh is his source. It is therefore incumbent upon the traveler to harmonize his reflection with that of the Shaykh. The story of Moses, peace be upon him, and his journey with al-Khidr, peace be upon him, illustrates how the disciple can fall into error and what he can learn from it. How did Moses, peace be upon him, react when he saw al-Khidr, peace be upon him, split the ship? Moses did not immediately make the connection between this action and his own nafs through this event. He did not think that what he perceived as a flaw was actually a projection of his own nafs. He remained focused on the image of al-Khidr, peace be upon him, committing this action. If he had seen his own nafs in this action, he would then have shared the responsibility of splitting the ship with al-Khidr. Thus the disciple must learn to see his own nafs in the mirror of the Shaykh. The secrets that the disciple acquires are by no means the result of simply following the Shaykh, but rather the manifestation of this mirror that is the Shaykh. He projects the secrets into the disciple's heart, which akin to the disciple's light is received during the bay'ah commitment. This light is a gift from Allah Jalla Jalaluh. The disciple did not earn it, but received it. The light, like the secrets, are gifts that the Shaykh projects onto the disciple. Ilqa. On the other hand, the suluk, or spiritual path, consists in following the Shaykh in his actions and directives, in what he orders and what he offers to the disciple,